leadership style.
When government is not capable of protecting our citizens, when you make laws and the laws are not being obeyed by the leadership, and the law is not in the context of the citizens, people are bound to disobey the law. The reason for all these protests that you see is because people are not satisfied with the government. And when they are not satisfied, it is legitimate for people to protest. So only government can change leadership and change their ways. And normally when you are leading and you find difficulty in one style of leadership, it is better to do a little bit of change.
The Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion has appointed the Right Reverend Godfrey Ekpenisi, Bishop of Ika Diocese, as Anglican Children Ministry Bishop Coordinator. This came in a letter by the Archbishop Metropolitan and Primate of all Nigeria Anglican Communion, His Grace, the Most Reverend Henry Idukuba. Bishop Ekpenisi will take over from the Right Reverend Sunday Adewale, who served meritoriously for several years, and during his leadership, the Anglican Children Ministry was stronger. The Right Reverend Sunday Adewale, as well as the coordinator for Women and Children Ministry, Barrister Mrs. Chinelo Anazodo, is to give the new Bishop Coordinator, Right Reverend Godfrey Ekpenisi, a detailed report of the activities of the ACM as he takes over leadership. The appointment is with effect from June 25th, 2021. Bishop Anglican Diocese of Ole, the Right Reverend John Arokwo, has urged Christians to keep the faith and be firm in God now that the world and the country is faced with the issues of insecurity. The cleric made this known to ACNN News correspondent Caroline Atsumbe in an interview, saying God has not abandoned the country.
The role that the authorities are playing is heightening the fears of people, heightening because they close their eyes to some issues, to things that concern some ethnic, and they open their eyes against others. I mean, those who are killing, they close their eyes to it. And then those who cry, we want to leave you, you carry guns and kill them. So it's a situation that will really call God for intervention. But I want to assure believers, when it is getting tenser, getting tough, then look out, because God is about to do something. I am very confident that God has not abandoned our nation, Nigeria. All our prayers have been attended to. God will do something. And we know that whatever we do will be to the advantage of God's children. So let us keep the hope in God strong and firm that He has not abandoned us.
The Vicar of St. Matthew's Church, Maitama, Abuja, the Venerable Ephraim Akanya, has stated the need for all youth fellowship in the Anglican Communion to be refurbished. Speaking with Nwane Ogechukwu in an interview, the cleric said that the youths who are the hope of tomorrow's church need to be raised properly in the ways of the Lord.
The church is about today and the future. And the youths, as we have them, are our hope for tomorrow. Any church that has no youth, it means that church is gradually or fast going into extinction. What we are working on today is that they become more and more spiritual. There should be youth that both at home and away, they can stand to declare for the Lord Jesus Christ, to obey their parents even away from home, like the Rechabites. If we want to be relevant in this system today, in this society today, in Nigeria today, that is becoming increasingly perilous, we just have to raise our children in the way they should go. the youth in the way they should go, so that they can stand firm tomorrow. And I know if they do that, just like Paul will write to the Corinthian church, he said, their labor in the Lord, their labors in the Lord will not be in vain. And that is exactly what we are doing, rebuilding. We're in the process of rebuilding, re-erecting the youth fellowship, the fellowship that will be the church of tomorrow. And we'll continue to do it. We'll stop at nothing until we see that the youth fellowship has been restored to what it's supposed to be. And because they will succeed us. They will succeed their parents. They will succeed in carrying the banner of Christ Jesus in this church.
A priest in the Diocese of Asaba, Venerable Sunday Acnn, said in times like this, all believers should humble themselves and pray now that sin has taken over, saying all are instruments in the hands of God. He said this in an interview with Acnn News correspondent Caroline Atsumbe in Asaba, Delta State.
His grace sustains us, and He has reminded us that we are nothing rather but a tool in the hand of the Lord. And so because we are vessels, we should humble ourselves, because the Master will always make us what He wants us to be. We need to pray. We also need to depart from iniquity. Sin has taken over everywhere. And so if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves to pray, confess their sins and come to God, God will deliver us, because His hand is mighty to save, to deliver, because He's Jehovah Sabaoth, the God of battle.
And still to come, Paul Onacho thrilled to win 3 awards in one season. These and more stories after the break. Please stay tuned.
Yes, my name is Right Reverend Ephraim Okechukwu Ikako. By the grace of God, I am the Bishop, Anglican Diocese of Amich in the province of the Niger. I want to encourage you to keep watching Acnn. It's very wonderful, it's very enriching, it's so blaring and preparing you both for now and eternity. Keep watching and God bless you.
You are Yahweh, you are Yahweh. Hello beautiful people of God, my name is Steve Crown. Keep watching Acnn, don't go nowhere. God bless you.
Thank you for staying tuned. For more on our top stories, please visit our website at acnntv.com or our social media platform on facebook.com or youtube.com/ACNNTV. And to be up to date with our news and other programs, download the Avo TV app from Google Play Store. And you can also advertise your goods and services on Acnn TV. Moving on to other stories, the House of Representatives has mandated its relevant committees to summon the Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, to explain the federal government's decision on banning Twitter in Nigeria and the laws upon which the action was based. The Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, in his opening address at the plenary said the lawmakers had been flooded with protests and demands for intervention by the parliament. Meanwhile, Gbajabiamila noted that the microblogging platform had become a huge communication tool and platform for enterprise, especially for the teeming youth in the country. He, however, said that the House also needed to hear from the government, especially the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, who issued the directive suspending the social media app in the country. The committees, which he ordered to start work immediately, are to report back within 10 days from Tuesday, 8th of June, 2021. The United States is increasing the pressure on the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration after the suspension on Twitter in Nigeria. The U.S. mission in Nigeria conveyed the message of top American official Samantha Power, saying there are nearly 40 million Twitter users in Nigeria and the country is home to Africa's largest tech hub, stressing that the suspension is nothing more than state-sanctioned denial of free speech and should be reversed immediately. Parr was the 28 years ambassador to the United Nations from 2013 to 2017. The Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, has announced the reopening of its passport application and payment portal. This is contained in a statement by NIS spokesman Mr. Amos Okpu in Abuja. The Controller General of the service, Mr. Mohammed Babandede, said the portal became effective from 12 midnight on Tuesday. Babandede said the portal would allow eligible applicants to apply and make payments for the various categories of passports of their choice. It will be recalled that the passport portal was closed on May 17, 2021, following a directive by the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola. The minister had directed the closure of the portal to enable the service to clear the backlog of applications in issuing centers across the country in the past few months. Babandede further explained that with the reopening of the portal, a new passport application and payment regime had begun. A South African woman, Gosimia Sithole, has broken the Guinness World Record as she gives birth to 10 babies. Sithole, 37, gave birth to 7 boys and 3 girls, breaking the world record once held by a Malian woman, Halima Sisse, who gave birth to 9 children in Morocco last month. According to reports, Sithole's babies came through cesarean operation, surprising her and her husband, who were expecting 8 babies. Her husband told newsmen that Sithole gave birth to her children 29 weeks into the pregnancy. He pointed out that his wife was not on any fertility treatment, stating that her pregnancy was natural. Meanwhile, the couple already have 6-year-olds, making them parents to 12 children. A big congratulations to the family. Moving on to sports stories. Nigeria forward Paul Onuachu is thrilled to win 3 awards in one season at Belgium. Onuachu won the Ebony Shoe Award for the Best African Player in Belgium, as the 27-year-old had already scooped the Belgian professional football and the Top Scorers Award for the 2020-2021 session. The striker netted 33 times in 38 league appearances for Genk during the campaign, while the former FC Midtjylland forward becomes the first Nigerian to win the award in 25 years, following in the footsteps of the likes of Daniel Amokachi, Victor Ikpeba, Godwin Okpara, and Celestin Babayaro. Nigeria's Super Falcons have arrived in the United States of America for this year's Summer Series A 4-nation tournament involving host USA, Jamaica and Portugal's senior women team. The team's head coach, Randy, and several overseas-based players are expected to join up with the squad in Houston ahead of Nigeria's first match of the series against Jamaica at the BBVA Stadium. 3 days later, the Falcons, one of only 7 teams to have featured in every edition of the FIFA Women's World Cup final since the competition was launched 30 years ago, will tackle Portugal at the same BBVA Stadium. Their last match is against the USA squad, 4 times winners of the FIFA World Cup and 4-time winners of the Olympic football gold, at the second quarter stadium on 16th June. Matches will be played at the BBVA Stadium in Houston and at the brand new $240 million second quarter stadium in Austin, built by the newest club in the Major League Soccer, Austin FC. USA is the only one of the 4 teams in the summer series that will compete in the 2021 Olympics. The match against Nigeria will mark the first time USA has ever faced the Super Falcons outside of a World Championship, and it will be just the 3rd ever friendly against an African country for the Americans, with the previous 2 coming against South Africa. A quick recap of the major stories. The Dean Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, priest Lamido, says the reason for the rising protest in the country is towards the unsatisfied happenings in the country. Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion appoints Bishop of Ika Diocese, the Right Reverend Godfrey Ekpenisi, the Bishop Coordinator of Anglican Children Ministry. Vicar St. Matthew's Church, Abuja, Maitama, Ephraim Akanya advocates for the refurbishment of all youth fellowship in the Anglican Communion Church, as he believes the youth are the hope of tomorrow's church. And that is the news on the hour. Thanks for watching. I am Rachel Ebuni.